here in Manchester to interview Great Britain's four-time champion, European finalist, and also under 23 record holder Naomi Ogbeta. So on Give Me Sports Women, Naomi, it's always so important that we speak and we're honest about women in sports, girls in sports. But I'm always so interested about the journey people have taken to be in the sports that you're in. Now, when I was reading about you, you just went along to an athletics meet. You're a sprinter.
Yeah.
And your dad said, why don't you try to triple jump? And tell me about growing up and how you've even landed here today.
Yeah, so basically, since when I was young, my mum was always like really big on me doing something. So it has to be something extracurricular. She just wanted me to get out of the house and just, build my confidence, because I think when I was younger, I don't even remember it, but I was getting picked on a little bit when I was in nursery. So my mum wanted my confidence to be up. So the first thing that I did was join like a singing, acting and dancing like school thing. So I did that on Saturdays, and obviously my confidence went up, but I wasn't getting any big parts. So I didn't like it. I was like, Mum, I don't like just being at the back, being an extra. I want to actually, have a good part. And so then after that, I went to did like a drama school. So I did that, and maybe I was like on stage, but still not getting them big parts. So then when I started, at school, being one of the fastest and beating all the boys, suddenly like I'm centre stage, everyone's looking at me. So I was like, okay, I kind of like this. Being good at something and everyone watching is just something that I think I'm very comfortable with. So I never really fared away from competing or anything. So I joined an athletics club. My mum kind of went on Google and found one. And I was enjoying it. And then I got to English schools. And I came 26th out of 27th, and that was in 200 meters. And I was crying, as you would if you came 26th. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. Like, I like being the best, and I'm not being the best at this event, and I actually don't know how I'm going to be the best at this event. And then a coach from this club, Trafford, said, "Oh, your running technique was absolutely awful. Come and join Trafford, and we'll sort it out." And I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure. Like, this is a big commitment, like changing clubs and actually taking it seriously. Like, I'm not sure if I want to do this yet." But my dad said, just give it a go to see how it turns out. So I turned up to the track, and I remember it's literally over there. It's so weird, like thinking of it like that, but it's literally over there. And
your whole life is there, right?
Yeah. So I think I was 15 now. Yeah, I was 15, and my current coach, Tom Cullen, was there. And then my coach said, "What events do you want to do?" And then I said, I want to do 200 meters. And my dad said, "Oh, and she wants to do triple jump." And I was like, whoa, where did this come
Where's
from?
your dad from?
My dad's from Nigeria. Yeah. So he did triple jump when he was in university. So then he was like, "Yep, she wants to do triple jump." And I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing triple jump as well then. But I wasn't too keen on it, just because I didn't know how to do it. So I was doing the running and I was getting faster. And then on Saturdays, I was just doing jump sessions. And then my coach was like, "You're actually really good at this. I don't know, maybe you should try and actually do this at English schools instead of the sprinting." Then I was like, "No, I want to go to English schools as a sprinter." And it was a kind of a choice of, do I want to take this risk and do an event I've never done? Or do I want to do what I thought I wanted to do, which was being a sprinter? So we just keep practicing. And I remember I did my first competition at triple jump, and then I jumped 11:09. So that put me on to maybe, say, like the top 5 in the UK for my age group. And I was like, wow, I've gone from like being like 100th to 5. Like, okay, let me just see how this goes. And then the following week over here, I jumped 11:90, and that not only put me I think it put me second in the UK now for my age. It also put me like 5th all time for my age. So I was like, okay, I think I should stick with this one. So I went to English schools, and then I wasn't nervous, but I didn't, at this point, it was almost like I didn't want to win in a way. It was very odd. It was because there was a girl who was also competing, and she was my friend. So it was hard to beat somebody who you're friends with. So that was it was really straight. This is me in the past. I'm not like that now. I want to beat everyone now. But in the past, when I was younger, it was confusing for me to get that competitive side with somebody who I'm friends with. So anyway, I beat her anyway. Yeah, I beat her.
I was going to say, you've gone from going to the English school the first time, 26, and you're like, what is this? I don't want to do it anymore. You've gone back the following year being the best in your age group, winning and breaking records, to now being in a competition where you see another girl who does it, and you're like, I don't want to beat this one. It's my
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, it
Like,
was
at
like,
what
yeah.
point did you go, no, I need to take this seriously because this could be my future?
I just remember I was sat down after I'd won and I wasn't celebrating or anything. And my dad was like, come on, do this. And I was just like, like I just felt really bad. But then she came over to my parents and to me and she was like, oh, well done. Like, she was so like lovely. And she was like, no, like, I'm really happy for you. And she meant it. And I know she did. And from that, because I knew she was okay and people are okay, it's part of the competition. You have to beat people. And then from there, I was like, okay, well, you can still be friends with someone and beat them. Like, it doesn't matter. And so it kind of, from there, I kind of learned it doesn't matter if you hurt people's feelings. It's part of the sport. And then from there, I was just carried on progressing. So I broke the under 17 record that year, the British record. And the following year, I went to the World Youth Championships. I came 13th and top 12 made the final. Missed out on the final by 1 centimetre. So that's great. And that, I think that was like something that I needed to happen because it's helped me so much like in the future, like in the years after that, it really helped.
Because you're a four-time British champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and then you're, let me guess this. Let me get it straight. You're European finalist, four-time British champion, and I'm missing one. Tell me the one I'm missing.
Under 23
Under
national
23
record.
national record.
Yeah.
And you're not even 23. That is
No.
crazy.
Yeah.
Now, you've gone from doing the sprints, changing over to triple jump, becoming the best in the country in your
Yeah.
age group, four-time championship, and now you are on the future program, pathway program with the
Yeah.
British, GB. How does that feel like? And the fact of knowing that one day you're going to be representing GB at the Olympics.
Yeah, I just kind of, it still doesn't, it's really weird for me, I think. It's really awesome and like, I'm really happy about it. But if you would have asked me this like 5 years ago, where do you see yourself? Okay, maybe not 5 because I was actually doing competing. But let's say if you asked me 10 years ago, where do you see yourself? I would not have saw myself as an athlete. I would not have saw myself at the Olympics. I just didn't think that that was something I could achieve. So to now for you to sit here and to tell me this back to myself, I'm just like, oh my gosh, wow, like that is such an achievement. And I am really happy because I never dreamed of being an athlete. I didn't even know anything about triple jump for a very long time. So.
I mean, when we think about triple jumps, the ones that we do remember, well, for me, it's always been Jonathan Edwards.
Yeah.
And I was recently speaking to Michelle Robertson about you, actually, and she was like really excited about the fact that you are a raw talent and somebody that we should be looking up to. When you hear things like that, does it put extra pressure on you to just keep pushing yourself?
No, it doesn't really put pressure on me, but it makes me feel so happy. Like, I remember, when Michelle, after I jumped at 14, 15, Michelle tweeted me and Ashley Hansen tweeted me, and I was so happy. I was like, these are like the people who are like the best triple jumpers this country's ever had, and they're literally so happy for me, and like it's like they're passing on like this torch to me, and I felt so privileged that I'm able to do that. So yeah, I don't really see it as pressure. I just see it as, wow, this person who's that good believes in me, and it just motivates me more than puts pressure.
I mean, some people look at you and go, Naomi has a Nigerian name. Why is Naomi representing GB?
Yeah.
And not Nigeria. But if Nigerians watching, I know you're going to take me and say that. Why?
Yeah, so my dad's Nigerian, but my mum's Jamaican. So if I was to choose Nigeria, then that means I'm just not being fair on my mum. So I have to keep it fair. And I was born in Great Britain, and my parents were also born in Great Britain as well. So although I love Nigeria, I don't think I can represent them. And yeah, I think there's a rule about that as well. So even if I really wanted to, I don't think I'd be able to do it. So I'm sorry.
Now, your next big, I just asked, just like, when does your competition start? And you're like, 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
How excited are you for the season?
I'm really excited. I'm just happy because I've got my dissertation out the way, almost got my exams done, and then I can just fully focus. So this season's going to be the first one where I've not been in education. So I just feel like I'm going to be just so much mentally like in a better place. And I'm just really excited to see what I'm going to be able to jump this year.
You got Doha.
Yeah, hopefully.
And then hopefully, are you looking forward to maybe qualifying for the Olympics?
Yeah, definitely.
What would that be like for you to hear your name and you're going to the Olympics?
Yeah, it would just be amazing to get a phone call telling you that and see the graphic on Twitter and all that stuff. Like, and just telling my family the whole thing about it. I mean, I think that's almost every athlete's goal is to get to the Olympics. So yeah, I'd be really happy.
I mean, you touched on your studies and it's something that you're really passionate about.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, you come across as like you're very balanced. This is not I do athletics or do nothing else. You have your studies is important. You did politics. Talk to me about it and why you chose that pathway.
Yeah, so I've always been interested in media, and I did like a media GCSE and a graphics GCSE. But then when it came to picking my A levels, I was like, oh yeah, I actually don't know what to choose. And then I just kind of had a look, and I was like, I think I might just choose politics. I know absolutely nothing about politics, but maybe they'll debate, and I'm kind of good at talking, so I'll just pick politics. And then the more I did it, I was like, this is really interesting. Like, I can't believe I didn't know all of this information. So then I was thinking, okay, at uni, I think I'm going to do politics as well, because it's so wide. It's not just about the House of Commons. It's about, how gender is represented, and like even sports is related to politics. Everything like kind of ties in. So it's just something that I thought, yeah, I think I can be good at this, and that's why I chose to do
Now,
it.
I mean, let's break down Brexit to the athletes that may not get it, and people like me who's given up on it, and the young people that are like, what is Brexit? Since you're a political student,
Yeah.
talk to us about it. What do you think is going on, and why should young people care about it?
I think I don't even. To be honest, I think Brexit is just a really confusing situation, and I think nobody really knows what's going on. I think the politicians didn't anticipate Brexit was even going to happen. So even when the referendum was kind of taking place, I don't think anyone kind of cared that much about it. And then now, when it's kind of irreversible. That's what it's not irreversible, but it's kind of irreversible. So that's what's making it so difficult, because people have changed their minds. But there's nothing that we can do about it. People didn't. I mean, I guess if the result of the referendum happened straight away, people would have been like, okay, well, this happened. But it's been 3 years and nothing's happened. So, yeah, I think people should definitely care. I think next time there's a referendum, people should really think about it. Okay, what's this going to look like? And then that should hopefully get more people to vote and actually, research it themselves.
What do you think the impact would be on young people? Because we hear a lot
Yeah.
like, young people won't be able to do this and they'll be able to do that. And I'm like, well, I'm a cross between young and old. So
Yeah.
what do I do? But what's the impact you're going to have on your generation?
See, the thing, I'm not sure. I think that's the thing about it, is that a lot of it can be like kind of instilling fear, because everyone has kind of a fear of the unknown. But I have spoken to people about it, and just things like from university fundings, and also like even medicine being able to be imported, and just goods, people who want to make businesses, like, it can affect to that. And I think that's the thing that's kind of worrying. But hopefully, maybe Brexit might not happen. It might not happen. We still don't know. So yeah, but I think everyone should just do their own research. But it is a scary thing when it's unknown. So yeah.
Now let's move away from politics, because I want to touch on the fact that you're a comedian, but we'll come to that later. But we want to talk about the work you're doing in your community as well. I mean, you do your stand-up comic sometimes, or improv
yeah.
comic. But the money that you've raised, you use it to help homeless people within
Yeah.
the city. Talk to us about that, and why is it so important to you?
Yeah, so basically Manchester, there's a huge amount of homeless people on the streets, and you see it kind of every day, and it's quite heartbreaking, to be honest. And then there's a charity that we work with called Mustard Tree, and it's like a Christian homeless charity that we just decided that with our shows, obviously we bring in laughs to people, which is great, and then at the end we just give people the option to, we don't charge for our shows, but at the end they can just donate, and then we give that to the charity. And it's just really nice to know that we're doing something that we enjoy, but it's also going to like a better cause. So yeah, I just think it's like really good. Every time we do a show, we always like donate some to normally a homeless charity, but it goes to charity, so it's kind of giving back. Yeah.
You mentioned Christians, so I'm guessing you're huge on faith.
Yeah.
What's faith to you?
Yeah,
And
so
what does it look like in real life to you?
Yeah, so for me, I'm a Christian. So for me, I go to church on Sundays, but more importantly, I think I just have my own individual relationship with God. So in competitions, I think I always say it's like to my friends, that competition is the time when I'm closest to God. I feel like I literally can't do this on my own, and I feel like I need, extra help. So it's almost like God's kind of giving me like a little, a little boost, yeah. So I think my faith's something that's always helped me, especially when things have gone pretty bad, like a few injuries and things like that. And it's just knowing that I'm not defined by my sport, but God is who defines me at the end of the day. So that's kind of how it's always got me through difficult times, and just I think that's why I'm quite a positive person, because I have got that joy like inside me. So yeah.
It's so refreshing to hear you say that I'm not defined by my sport.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do sport and that is their life, and there's nothing outside their lives. And I've done so many of these interviews now, and I speak to certain athletes, and I wish I had a different career away from what I was doing.
Yeah.
Why is it so important for you to have your sport, but also looking to do other things away from it to continue to build yourself as a person?
Yeah, I think for me, like I've never really seen myself as Naomi the athlete. I've just seen myself as Naomi the person. And every person has something that, that they're passionate about. And although I love the athletics, they've just got other passions. So I just make sure that I do all of them, because there can be a time where I'm injured, and, it's kind of inevitable that there'll be a time where you have to take a break from the sport. So in that time, then I need to have something else, so I'm not going to feel so down about missing out on sport because it takes up so much time. So I just think it's really important that I always keep up what I've been doing. So the media stuff, I just keep it going. With the university, I just kept it all going and didn't try and split it. Just it can be full on at times, but for me, it's rewarding because I know that I'm following my dreams in every aspect, not just in one specific path.
I mean, when I was growing up and I used to do a lot of sports, I always felt that sport taught me things away from the classroom that the classroom teacher couldn't teach me.
Yeah.
And it's funny sometimes when you speak to people and say, "Oh, I used to do that, I used to do this," and they'll look at you and go, "How many things have you done?" But I feel like all those skills that allow me to do that are things that I've learned from sports. What kind of skills do you think you've learned from sports growing up that has allowed you to be able to manage so many different things at one time?
I definitely say discipline is just one. You just, I can't just wake up and go, oh, I'm not going to train this whole week. Or I can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to go to this party tonight, even though I've got training tomorrow morning. There has to be a level of discipline. And that can be hard for a student. Like, you want to have fun. So it's just trying to balance, everything. But you have to make that sacrifice. And I think that can be important for every aspect of life. Sometimes, there could be two things happening. There could be your friend's party and there could also be your grandma's 50th. Your grandma's 80th birthday, and you have to make that sacrifice. But doing sport, you constantly have to make that sacrifice. So you get used to being in those situations at life which are difficult, and you kind of learn how to manage things like that.
Man, it's funny. Like, I tell people now, at 7 o'clock I need to be in my bed, and people go, "What?" But that's the discipline I've had ever since I was so young. Recently, Women in Sports released an insight report that they had done on girls in sports and the impact it's having, if any. And the report, suggested or show that a lot of girls feel disjointed from sport. They don't feel like it's for them. They don't feel like it's a welcoming environment for them. Now you're still quite young. Why do you think this is happening? And why do you think girls do not want to engage with sports now?
I think maybe they've just not found the sport for them. With me, like, believe it or not, I am literally terrible at every other sport apart from literally jumping and maybe sprinting. I have no hand-eye coordination. I was bad at netball, bad at basketball. Like, I'm 6 foot tall, but I just can't do it. So in school, sometimes I'd be like, oh, this is boring. Like, I'm not enjoying it because I wasn't doing a sport that I actually was interested in. But then as soon as it became, like, when it was the summer and we're doing athletics, I suddenly was like, oh, this is perfect. So maybe if, like, schools just, let girls kind of experiment with sport, try different ones, bring new ones in, and maybe that could be a way to get more people involved. Because when you have to just do netball, maybe not everybody might not be into that, or if it's cricket. And also allowing girls to do boys' sports, because sometimes the boys are allowed to play football, but the girls had to do netball. So I think it's good to, to mix it up and allow them to try new things. But yeah, for me in school, the girls were really competitive and we all kind of loved the sport. So I think that helped. I don't know what I would have been like if I would have went to a school where the girls didn't like sport, because it would have been, I don't know if it would have been kind of embarrassing to be the only one to like it. But hopefully that will change and, people will start to enjoy it more.
Talk to me about your grassroots coach, because everybody has that coach that when they first got into sports that inspired them, and because of them it always made them want to come to the track or go to the pool or whatever. What was your grassroots coach like, and what kind of impact have they had on you?
Yeah, so when I first started athletics, like in my club, I had like a number of coaches. So all of them were kind of, they were great and they were like showing me that I have talent. But it's not until I came to Trafford really, and I had Tom, my coach now, he just believed in me from the beginning. When I told him I want to break the record, he was just like, let's go for it. I think you can do this. You're going to jump 14. You're going to do. He was always been so positive and always, believing in me more than anybody. I think when I first started, people wouldn't have believed that I would have been, the third best, jumper of all time or anything like that. But it's literally my coach who's put that belief into me. So although I had coaches in the past that motivated me, I think it's that belief that was really important. And if he didn't believe in me, maybe I wouldn't have even gone for it. But because he did, it really helped.
Do you think we need to celebrate grassroots coaches more? Because I feel like we don't sometimes. And when athletes get questioned, when they win stuff, it's like they don't ask you about the people that made you become the person you are today. And some people go, I want to thank my mom, my dad. It's like, well, what about the coaches?
Yeah, that's true. I think coaches do not get enough recognition. Sometimes I think about it when it's like, when athletes start getting sponsorships and, all these like awesome deals, it's like the coach doesn't really get any of that when they're the ones who, a lot of them are volunteers. Like my coach is a volunteer. Like he literally gives up so much time. And then even a time where I'm like, oh, I'm too tired to train, he still comes and he has to coach the group. And it's kind of amazing. And it's not even just my main coach. you know, because normally when I get selected for a competition, they'll put my name and they'll put Tom Cullen, but there's also like 3 other coaches who also help out, you know, just dads of other athletes who come and help out. So I do think that coaches definitely do need to get more recognition and should be celebrated. Maybe they should bring them on to, you know, when you're doing your TV interview, bring them on as well. I don't know, but yeah, I think they should definitely.
Because
do
in
that.
boxing, you always
Yeah.
get that boxer and then
Yeah.
everybody's behind them so you can see the whole crew. But athletics, you
Nice.
hardly you see them in a stand somewhere.
Yeah.
And you might get a glimpse of them on the screen. But I think it's something that needs to be done more.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like young people, when you get a coach that believes in you and would push. I mean, my netball coach, Miss Crockett, who lives in Manchester now, I think, she was like, "You'll be a great netballer," and I'm like, "Miss, stop lying to me. I know I'm rubbish." Like, you know what I mean? But then she'll push you in other sports. But those people need to be celebrated. Now, we've talked about you, we've talked about education, we've talked about your championships, we've talked about your coaches. Let's talk about the future. I've said to you, you have an amazing voice. You should be on radio. We know, the people that follow you, that you actually have a vlog. Tell us about that vlog.
Yeah, so basically I've got a YouTube channel with my boyfriend called Leaps and Laughs. Yeah. So basically we make videos and they kind of like loosely based around sport in a way. But we've only made 2 videos at the moment. The first one we taught a stranger how to triple jump. Kind of and then the second one we went to see how trainers were made at England's last trainer factory. So we just kind of try and find something a bit unique, a bit different with our channel. But it's just something that, you know, I was really scared to start it.
Why are you scared to start it?
Yeah, I think with me, I always have these ideas and I'll make things but not publish it because I'm almost scared of what people will think. And especially being an athlete, sometimes people go, you should focus on your athletics, stop doing all this stuff. And you know, that can put a bit of pressure sometimes. When I go out there and put something out, like, look what I've made all this time. People are like, are you not training? Well, I am training. It's just that I'm also doing this. You know, you can do more than just one thing. So I think that was kind of what was stopping me. I was scared that people wouldn't take me as seriously if I was posting videos all the time or filming at competitions and things.
But that's a terrible feeling to have because
Yeah.
you as a person have more than one interest. You
Yeah.
can't be athletics 101%, you know, 100% 24/7. You can't be athletics. It's just not possible. So when you feel like, okay, I shouldn't do that, what's motivated you to actually go ahead and just do it anyway?
I think I don't really know what motivated me, but people kept saying, "Oh, Naomi, you should just post something. You need to make a YouTube channel. You need to make a YouTube channel. You should start making vlogs." And I was like, do you know what? Yeah, you're right. Let me just do it. Even if it was just 3 people who said it to me, it just made me think people actually might want to see this. So, and people aren't really doing what I'm doing, so maybe I should just be the first to try it and see how it goes. And I'm really happy that I did.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're grateful that you guys do. Like I said to you, GB team took over the Instagram story
Yeah.
last week. And I think for us as audiences, we have this perception of what it is like to be an athlete and what you guys do. But then to go behind the scenes or have you guys actually really share your life experiences with us, it makes us take a step back and go, wow, they're just like us. I mean, they're not in a 5-star hotel. They don't speak 101 languages. They're not superhuman. They're hurt just like us. And it's not important for you to get that across, especially to the younger audiences.
Yeah, definitely. And I used to make these things called Ogs vlogs, and that's what I used to do on Instagram. They were like 1-minute vlogs of competitions, and like it made me quite popular going onto a senior team. I was like one of the youngest, and then like people like Matt Hudson Smith and like really good athletes were like, "Oh, let me be in one of your vlogs. I want to be in your vlog." And I'm just like, wow, this is like so cool that, you know, people actually want to be in this. And it's just showing, like, you just get to show the funny side of athletes, because so many athletes, they seem so serious when you see them compete, and then in real life they're so goofy and like weird. So it's really good to capture their moments. I think it's good for an audience, and it's good for the athlete as well to kind of just let themselves be themselves, and, you know, not just be super like, I'm a role model so I have to act like this, you know, just be who they want to be.
I'm glad you touched on role models, because there was a survey actually where 43% of young people felt that they didn't have role models across the world in society, which was really sad. But you're an athlete and you are a role model whether you like it or not. Is it important for young people to see you for the real person you are and not what you're perceived to be?
Yeah, I've always tried to keep it real with my with the competitions all the time. I just try and I'm not going to smile if I'm not happy, but I smile most of the time. So I am a smiley person, but if I'm losing, I'm not going to smile. So I'm not going to be fake. So even though I might be known as a smiley athlete, I mean, I'm not fake. And then also, I forgot what I was going to say.
It's all right.
Oh yeah, sorry, I just remembered. When it was athlete introductions, my friends were like, "Naomi, you have to do a dance. You have to do a dance." And I'm just like, "Oh, I don't know," but I just did it anyway. I did this one. Yeah, like that. So every time every time there's an athlete introduction, I'm gonna do a different a different dance. Just like that, just the little ways of getting personality out there. And when I got home, like people from my high school who I've literally not spoke to in years, they were all watching. They were like, "Oh, I'm so happy Naomi did that. Like she's been herself." They can just see that I'm just being who I am, even though there's cameras and it's kind of embarrassing sometimes. But I just like that people can see that I'm kind of genuine.
Give me 5 words that describe you.
I'd say fun, bubbly, kind, empathetic, and talented.
And 5 things you can't live without.
Food,
Food.
a camera, a laptop, my boyfriend, my family. God, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, please. I'm sorry.
She did that sound across.
I'm sorry, rewind that, yeah.
She did
And
that
then
again.
I meant to say God first, yeah. God first.
Okay, your 5 top UK artists that you're listening to at the moment.
UK, so they have
Yeah.
to be from the UK.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Tom Mish. I like, let me think, Dave, NSG, Notes, and last one. I say Gigs.
Okay, 5 makeup brands you can't live without.
Sleek, Rimmel, Fenty, MUA, cheap, but cheerful, but great. And last one, what mascara? What's good mascara now?
We'll come back to
Yeah.
that. We'll come back to that. Okay, 5 clothing stores you can't live without.
Okay, Primark. H&M. Where do I shop? This is so. I'm sorry. I don't leave the house that much. You know.
Yeah.
Primark, H&M. Where would I go? I need to go shopping. Where should I got my money? I can't think.
I've got my
I
cash in my
really can't
pocket.
think.
I'm on a high road. What shops would I go
Yeah.
into?
See, I was going to say New Look, but since I'm not feeling New Look, it depends. In autumn, maybe New Look. Oh gosh, online stores. I can say online stores, Boohoo, because they do clothes for tall women, so that's great. And then sometimes Pretty Little Thing. That's where I got my birthday dress from. So. Yeah.
Oh, that yellow dress was
Yeah.
nice. I really
Thank
like
you.
that. I saw that one.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 tech gadgets, things that you can't live without.
Okay, so my camera, so it's a Canon 750D, and then my lenses. I've got 5 lenses, so there's my 50, 85, 18 to 55. No, I've already said 50. Is it 70 to 300, and one more which I just can't remember off the top of my head. But I love my lenses because it feels like it's a new camera every time I put a new lens on. And then my GoPro, my tripod, my lights, my editing software, my laptop. So they're like my tech things. I love technology so much. Like, I really love it.
That's so strange. Anyway, okay, 5 destinations that you would love to go to off season.
Nigeria, of course. All my fellow Nigerians watching. Yeah, I would love to go to Nigeria. I'd love to go to just basically like all of Asia and really, especially for the Olympics, of course. But I'd love to just go and just travel there. Australia, Cuba. And somewhere cold for it.
Somewhere cold?
Yeah, just somewhere cold. I don't know.
Cold?
Is Greenland cold? Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere where you can go skiing, but I can't even ski, but just to stun
Like
with the big coat.
Chamonix in France.
Yeah,
You
so
could-
just so I can get like a white coat, like a white suit, black hoods, and then you just do the pose. Guaranteed 1,000
We're
likes.
just coming for the gram. I cannot deal with you.
Just like you didn't even know the picture was being taken, but you do at the same time. It's quite,
It's like natural but not natural because
yeah,
it's staged.
that's basically it.
All right, and then let's think about this one. This has to be a good one. 5 books that you're reading at the moment, or 5
Okay.
books you've ever read.
So I'm reading Greg Rutherford's autobiography, so I've not finished that. And then I read an autobiography called Limmy. It's by a comedian, so I thought it was fitting. There was one that a judge wrote, so I can't remember the title of the book, but a judge wrote it, so it's kind of cool to see how he deals with all the cases and things like that. My mind's gone blank. I've actually got a Kindle. I love my Kindle as well, but I actually can't think of the other books. And he did an Instagram post on it the other day, but I've literally forgot.
You can always tweet us.
Yeah, I'll have to tweet the books.
But it's
yeah.
been fabulous talking to you today. I
I
think
do
you're
read,
still-
I promise. Because
She
it
does-
looks like I was lying, but I'm not lying. I read, I promise. Oh, the Bible, of course.
Oh my God! No, it's been fabulous talking to you, being here, sharing your story. I think you're inspirational.
Thank
You know,
you.
and when I hear Michelle talk about you and how they see you going to be a future big star for the UK, you know, it's exciting for us. And
Yeah.
hopefully we see you in Tokyo in 2020.
Yeah, hopefully that'd be
Oh,
amazing.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
She comes from missing out the Bible. She's a Christian. She's like, 5 things you can't live without. My boyfriend, my camera. Oh, church, God.